oh, Cinderella needs some tennis shoes, and she needs a nice comfy bed, and she needs that Donkey Kong to get away. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And like, and all these kind of things. And really, whatever. And as soon as you kind of shore that up, you're going to find that your personal inner spiritual growth is going to be magnificent.
Good morning, my friend, and welcome now to Thursday. Well, set your smartphone. In the next 24 hours, we're going to have a lunar eclipse, and I argue an old spiritual issue will be vacuumed away. From my smartphone to yours, keep streaming for your Thursday Namaste Today. Welcome to Namaste Today, a most intelligent way to start your day. I'm your host and spiritual life coach, Sensei Chris Witecki. I consider myself a psychic astrologer, a spiritual philosopher, and a quantum jester at heart, but I am humbly at your service and say Namaste. Welcome now to Thursday, my friend. And indeed, it is quantum. We're on the countdown to a lunar eclipse. This is a major astrological event that happens only twice a year, and I argue it's going to vacuum away an old spiritual issue. And in your MegaScope, I'll give you a lunar eclipse survivor's guide. But first, let's take a look at your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Thursday, September 15th, 2016. Looking ahead at the 5-day moodcast. Tomorrow is going to be overcast and disjointed. That's because we're going through a lunar eclipse. Saturday, I predict it to still be overcast and feeling a bit reluctant to do anything. But Sunday, you're feeling sunny and engaged. Today is cloudy yet graceful. In fact, you can expect to drift in and out of reality today. Now, the Great Human Walk has reached step 23, Virgo. That means the ruling channel today is channel 5, I think. And that means the ruling planet is Mercury retrograde. Now, our emotional focus is intense, but still wishy-washy. That's because the moon is climbing to a full status in early degrees of Pisces. And our mental focus is rethinking decisions in this Mercury retrograde as we are retrograde step 18 Virgo. So, my friend, we're on countdown to a lunar eclipse, and in today's Megascope, I'll have for you a lunar eclipse survivor's guide. But first, steep yourself some tea, and let's have our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is a third in a row, and that is Theories of Astrology Part 3. So I've been just kind of getting my little astrology stuff. I hope you're enjoying this little series of discussions because I think they're important. I see Bella's excited about it. So let's go forward. And I talked about ancient Babylonia. I talked about using it as a calendar system. I talked about yesterday that astrology is that we are basically in a vortex. We're never in the same space-time anyway, so it's kind of an interesting thing. And I do believe that the planets screw with Ra, piss off our sun, change the drumbeat of the light constantly just by all these different boomerangs swinging around the sun. And, we literally are discovering new planets today because we notice the star will twinkle, or we'll notice that it gets pulled back and forth by a heavy planet like Jupiter. So we know that planets screw with suns. Now, I want to take it to another crazy dimension, which I haven't talked about. And I believe that there's this nature to our orbit. So, the Earth is zipping around the sun as it's basically expanding and speeding up. It's crazy. And in that sense, I liken it to being at the fair in the summertime. You used to go on these rides, and I remember being on this one ride, which is like the zipper thing. But like I would see, your parents are standing or whatever, and you would, after you're on the ride and you're on this like cycle of these little fingers that are spinning around, you always had this same thing where you'd be like, zzz, hi grandma, zzz, hi grandma, zzz, hi grandma. You know what I mean? Like you always like, zoo, hi grandma. Like every time when you like go off and you're like, zoo. And that's kind of look at like, that what's happening is like we're on this crazy merry-go-round thing called Earth that's zipping around the sun. Okay, it's basically an attraction at a fair. You know what I mean? And I believe that human beings all come to a conscious point every year at the same different time. There's always a conscious point they come to. And human beings are kind of stuck in this like rhythm of life of this conscious system. Now, using my step astrology system, I actually have the exact formula, right? We know that it's Aries, Taurus, Gemini, whatever. So basically the conscious points that we end up going on in this ride, in our perception of the ride, is here it is. Here's the formula. I believe it starts in Scorpio. That was the pagan New Year. So step 0. So it's 0, 3, 8, 4, 7, 9, 10, 2, 11, 6, and repeat. Right? That's basically the conscious game. We go through protection, belief, decisions, where we belong, what we sense, what we should act on, what we should manifest, what we should feel, what we should love some more, and where we should get the harvest and start over. Okay, like this is the ride. And I think again that the planets are, some sort of a calendar system to go, wow, every time we're in the ride, it's like, and every time we're here, it's Mars and this, it's like we're basically noticing these things. And it's because the ride always, 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 always repeats. That's one of the secrets of the universe. The story repeats, human conscious repeats. What I learned in the 11 Steps of Serious Joy is God goes in the order of 0, 3, 8, 4, 7, 9, 10, 2, 1, 11, and 6. But if you put in the order of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, then you take this vibration into your own power and start to manifest. That is the 11 Steps of Serious Joy and what I teach in my personal Sensei service. I looked at all this and said, oh my God, life is a crazy rhythm and dance. So all we need to do is map out the dance, help the human beings with where they should put what step, when did you put one step down, when you put your foot up, to help maximize the rise so you're not getting so sick seeing grandma every 30 seconds, you know what I mean, or whatever it kind of is. So I believe that what's interesting is, numbers play a lot of this. The numbers and counting and repeating and cycles and circles, there's numbers in it. That's why I got into the side of numerology and astrology and looking at these two and looking at these conscious as different types of things. And I do believe that numbers themselves talk about how humans stack up consciousness. So that's part of what the 11-step idea is as well. 0 is nothingness. 1 is I'm me, 1. 2 is me and her, 2. This is caveman, how it starts. But also look at it. 0 is Scorpio, 0, nothing. 1 is Leo, love, I love me, me, me. Cancer is 2, me and you, 2. And Cancer is step 2. So I think there's just a tribal gorilla in us vibration to what is 0 and what 1 means and what 2 means and what 3 means and what 4 means. And I think that this consciousness of numbers, our relationship with numbers, actually is the fundament of our conscious relationship to the universe. 0 gets applied in crazy Joseph Campbell ways of nothingness, and really 0 is the secret step, the hidden step, because some cultures didn't even have a placeholder 0 in their mathematics. It took them a long time to have this concept of a number that could represent any number. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. 0 is everything and nothing at the same time. And if you've ever dated a Scorpio, that's exactly how it feels. You know what I mean? They're totally cold and then they're totally heroes, and it's you can't get anything warm in between. But I'm a Taurus here, step 10. So I looking at it kind of differently, and I'm always arguing with my Scorpio opposite signs. The whole point of the matter is that human beings, in my opinion, and I think this is what part of astrology is, I literally honestly think that we have a fundamental attachment to numbers. And I think that there is a number sequence that's happening due to the nature and the spinning of the planets. And so because we have an affinity for a number, whenever that number and all the consciousness that we have associated with that number comes up, I think that we all gravitate to that number. And that's what my discovery is with step astrology, is that we have this cosmic dance going on with numbers. And so science is right. Everyone is right. And it's quite fascinating. So it's literally if your number is up. You know what I mean? And so if you guys are into numbers, it's something to look at. I think we're basically on a merry-go-round. I'll leave with this fascinating little point, and that is that we are a 7. When you add everything up, if you add up the 11 steps of Serious Joy, or you add up 0 through 11, they come to final numbers. In the 11 steps, the final number is 7. So, but in the classic number, if you follow the numbers the way God conscious does it, it adds up to a 3, which is kind of interesting. So, in other words, the way that God puts it out, which is 0, 3, 8, 4, 7, 9, 10, that adds to a 3. But when you do 0 through 11, it adds to a 7. It's very interesting stuff. So, fun stuff. I'll explain that in more detail later. I realized I was going off on little extra, and I also have a little extra guide for your intergalactic travel. But first, the MegaScope, where I'm going to take 3 breaths and talk to my guides and ask them if they have any help or assistance or information for you in this cosmic journey. Very great vision that Spirit just gave me. Really wonderful vision, actually. I'll share with you. Spirit was showing me that spiritual transition is gentle. It's spirit. It's like this is when God takes over, you really think it's going to be hard. That's what they're kind of saying. Like, we are the masters of peace. And then they show me an image of a hummingbird. If you ever had a hummingbird come in front of you and just like sit there and be like, hi, zzz, ever have one of those? It's like such a magical moment. And life is so gently perfect. And that's what they were showing me, was that the vortex shift, all this stuff, you just very gently, the baby just very gently wakes up in the new cradle. There's no effort. It is effortless. And you want to allow Spirit to take over in that moment, is what they're showing me. Now, that said, I've got a lunar eclipse survivor guide for you that'll help you with this transitional shift. And this is literally just to kind of help you on a more practical decision level instead of all this woo-woo suspension stuff that will help you. First step, forgive and forget all past trespasses. Forgive and forget all past trespasses. All the trespasses against you, all where you've trespassed against another. I know that has a cosmic ring to those of us who have past lives in Catholicism, and that's why I'm using it. It is time to let them all go. Okay, step 2, release the old spiritual story. I'm the victim. I'm this. I'm that. It's over now. We're done. That was chapter 1. We were moving on as the spirit evolves and learns. So let it all go. Release the past old spiritual story. Let go of that story. Stop telling that story. Put it in a book. File it away. Step 3, embrace your new spiritual level. So if you're moving on up in a Jefferson way, okay, it's time to feel that, wear it, own it, beat the drum, play the music, become the new vibration you seek to be the change you seek to see, right? All of that stuff. All right. Now, for those watched over my personal Sensei service today, I'm going to give you some lunar eclipse theory. And this is kind of like my theories of how lunar eclipses work and going a little deeper. And I want to talk about, in your daily eye candy, what was your natal lunar eclipse? I talk about prenatal lunar eclipses. What was yours? You'll find out today at 3 o'clock. Watch your iPhone or smartphone. And for those who are watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. I thank you ahead of time. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, my handle is CWitecki. And if you'd like to know more about the Bright Star You Really Are, I'm holding a contest right now. If you sign up for Series Star right now in this cosmic shift, I will enter you into a contest to win a free reading, a free 15-minute reading. So exciting times. By the way, for those who are subscribed, I'm giving a 30-minute reading away. Just so you know, membership does have its privileges. But come on down and try for $1.99. All right, my friend, that's all I have for today. Please remember that I love you, and I'll see you in 24 hours with more. Until then, live, love, be.
So